you. Well, we're going to give Devin a chance to zip back there to drums. And while we do that, let's welcome back Marianne and Sue. Yay! We missed you so much. Nice to have you back. And please stand, if you are able, for our opening song.
I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smile. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, about lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I'm going to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper light. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. It's about lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As an affirmation for peace in the Middle East and in solidarity with our Muslim and Jewish brothers and sisters, all of us people of the book, we greet one another. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Peace be upon you.
And upon you peace.
Shalom.
Alaikum shalom.
I'm Reverend Vicki Elder, and it's my joy and honor to welcome you to Unity of Monterey Bay, a beloved community co-created with love and intention that welcomes all people, all races, nationalities, cultures, and religions. Whatever your immigration status, sexual orientation, gender identity, family configuration, and or abilities, whether you're here with us in person or joining us virtually, we know that love knows no boundaries. We are one in spirit. As a purpose-driven church, Unity of Monterey Bay is an inclusive spiritual community committed to co-creating an environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, socially just, and compassionate human presence on this planet. We celebrate our oneness and honor the God of each of our understanding, affirming the innate good and divine essence within each and every individual. Will you please join me in our statement of faith? There is only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, expressing as infinite God beyond us, intimate God beside us, inner God being us, divine love in action. As we allow this knowing to deepen within our souls and serve to awaken us into enlightenment for the benefit of all living beings, I invite you to join me in this responsive reading as we collectively hold the high watch for our nation and our world. The words are up here. We believe in the sacred potential of our country and the divine intelligence guiding its path.
We affirm that wisdom, compassion, and justice are rising in the hearts of all people.
In a world that cries out for healing, we listen deeply for spiritual truth.
We open to the wisdom that leads to wholeness for all.
We do not surrender to fear, division, or despair.
We anchor ourselves in faith, courage, and shared humanity.
We call forth leaders who are guided by integrity and vision.
We affirm solutions that uplift both personal freedom and collective care.
May this nation grow in love, unity, and awakening.
And may we each be instruments of peace, justice, and joy.
And all the people said, Amen. Amen. And now let us affirm together. Thank you, God, for this most amazing day. Miracle follows miracle, and wonders never cease. And as we do every week, we celebrate and bless our children, those in our spiritual community, in our families, in our larger community, all the children in the world, as well as that inner child that lives within each of us. We open our hearts wide and we see them protected and resilient, creative and evolving, joyous and loved as we join in our heartfelt blessing. We love you,
We
bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are.
This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
So now taking a deep breath in and letting it out with an audible sigh. We center ourselves to embrace this blissful interconnection with Spirit and invite the chime to call us into this sacred space within. We ring the chime 4 times to call in the 4 directions and remind us of our interconnection with all of creation and with the sacred circle of life. As we feel it resonate through our very beings, we follow its call into this now present moment within. Continuing to focus on our breath, with each inhale, we open our hearts and minds. We envision our breath reaching every cell of our being. And with each exhale, we see all barriers and obstacles dissolving into the divine flow. And again, as we inhale, we expand the spaciousness within us. We move beyond the limitations and boundaries of our bodies. And as we exhale, we ground ourselves deep within Mother Earth and into our oneness with the universe. Finally, we breathe our awareness into the highest expression of love, light, joy, and peace we can imagine as we experience a transforming wave of gratitude. And with a fullness of heart, we say yes to it all, embracing, claiming, and knowing the divine Christ Spirit expressing in, through, and as us. And with a final exhale, we say, thank you, God. So now fully centered and transformed by the power of Spirit, we enter into our lesson and meditation time with today's daily word.
We read from today's daily word, shared with permission of Unity, publisher of Daily Word, that can also be found at dailyword.com. And the word is surrender. Spiritual surrender is my path to peace. It's natural to have ideas and preferences about how things should be and to work toward the results I want. But I can exhaust myself if I attempt to exert control over my life circumstances. In fact, the more I try, the less control I feel I have. Releasing the illusion of control, I practice spiritual surrender. So much more than giving up, surrendering my efforts and my hopes to the divine within me is an act of empowerment. It means living my faith that God is in and through all things. It means trusting that there are outcomes better than the ones I have imagined. I surrender to God's peace and perfection within me. I give up trying to control outcomes and relax, welcoming serendipity and ease. Surrender is the way. And from scriptures, my child, give me your heart and let your eyes observe my ways. Proverbs 23:26.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy.
In witness to the wisdom of the many paths to the sacred, we read from these sacred traditions on this morning's topic. It's about time. From Buddhism, there are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. From Sufism, come out of the circle of time and into the circle of love. From Judaism and Christianity, God has made everything beautiful in its time and has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end.
When Vicky suggested this next song, I asked Devin to sing it. Then I listened to the lyrics and knew I needed to sing it. As Vicky often says, I teach what I most need to learn. My son, who has lived in California his whole life, just received his doctorate in psychology and is moving with his dog to Vermont next month. He accepted a position at Path at Stone Summit, a program for adult transition health. I'm breathing into that. I have a feeling that we all can relate to this song in some point of our lives. When It's Time by Daniel Nahmad. Thank you. I have never wanted time to go so slow as when I'm watching my little boy grow. When he took his first small steps and toddled by, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But when it's time, we're all gonna learn to walk. When it's time, he's gonna learn how to talk back. When it's time, there's no stopping that clock. When it's time. I have never wanted time to go so fast, paying dues like I'd be paying to the last, singing songs for friendly strangers in a tiny town. May not be the best way to be found, but when it's time, I'll write the song I'm born to write. When it's time, I'll step out into those lights. When it's time, then the music will be mine. When it's time. And who can say where or when our story will end or begin again? We can try to hold back the tide, but everything comes and goes, and nobody really knows. I have never wanted time to stand so still, thought we could live forever just by force of will. But the day will come we'll have to say goodbye, and we can never know the reason why. When it's time, we have just so many years. When it's time, just so much laughter and tears. When it's time, we go back to where we're from. When it's time.
So I have the great pleasure this morning of introducing our guest speaker, who was my teacher in seminary for counseling. And so I'm so pleased to have her today, Reverend Dalia Adams. I know that you will be blessed by her lesson this morning.
It is so good to be back here. It's my second. Whoops, I've got a button to push. Hello, hello. No. Okay. So I'm very glad to be here. I want all of you to know how very special Unity in Monterey is. The energy here, the love, you can just about touch it. It's so strong and so real. I mentioned to Vicki last time I was here that if I lived close enough, I would attend this church. So I'm talking about time today. And I've had second thoughts because with all the things that are happening in the world, it seemed like, well, that's just an easy peasy type subject, and I should be talking about the things that go deep into our hearts, the things that wake me up at night these days. And then I step back from that and I'm there, no, it's the way that I move through time. It is the relationship that I have with the time that is mine that makes a huge difference in how I show up for all those things that are calling for a commitment or a response or for me to do something. The other piece is this is a self-disclosure and fessing up. I have struggled with time my whole life. Not just time, but space. And that was long before I knew physicists were going to link time and space as one entity. If they exist, that's questionable. But with both time and space, if I had food left over, I would have to ask someone what size bowl should I use. Because that ability to gauge space, I don't know how people do it. Or time. I remember, I have a son also, and we would go somewhere. I always had a watch on and I was always checking it. He refused to ever wear a watch. And we'd be doing something, and I just checked my watch, but now I had something in my hand, and I couldn't look again. And I'm guessing it's like 3 o'clock. And I asked him, what time is it? He says it's 2:36. And dag nabbit, he's right on the nose, right? Or another time when he was about 8, I lived on an island in the Virgin Islands. It was 27 miles long, 7 miles wide at its widest point. In some places it was like a half mile wide. So a small place. And I had lived there for many years at this point. And I was trying to go from one place to another, and I got lost. I got turned around. I tried again, and I got lost again. And my 8-year-old little boy says, Mom, if anybody ever watched you going from one place to another, they would never, ever believe that you're smart. So ditto with time. Ditto with time. So as I've learned new ways of being with time, it's been a huge, huge gift to me. This way. So everyone knows what a timeline is, right? It's a diagram, it's a picture of what time is all about. It runs on a straight line from the past to the future, right? Pretty darn simple. And so when someone like me has trouble getting it, it's hard to explain to people. And our culture is really tied into that understanding of time. Today when I was coming in here, and I'm talking about time, and I know better, but I got behind an SUV that was going 10 miles an hour less than the speed limit, stopped at every single intersection with a complete stop, and I could just see the driver checking. There are no cars, nothing. And then, go to the next stop sign. This driver stopped at every green light and did this, So my head starts going, because, I needed to get here in a reasonable amount of time. And I started that inner churning. I'm there, wait a minute, this is what you're talking about, cut it out. And I was able to bless this beautiful driver and, just imagine that whatever was feeling challenging for that person was just melting away, right? In our culture, stop wasting time, or we're running out of time. There's not enough time. Or I'm sorry I'm late, right? Right? Okay. This is how we learn time. This is how we live time, often without realizing. When I first questioned this timeline idea, when I first questioned this way of talking to ourselves or to each other, was on the island of Crete. I was about 21 maybe, and I was there with my traveling partner, and we had a VW bus because that's what people did back in those days if they traveled. And our bus needed work. So we're on this island of Crete. There's 2 marks there. Up on top is for Heraklion, the main city, the capital of Crete. And the little square is where I was spending my time when I lived on Crete. So we went to Heraklion to take the car in, and it was cold. It was damp. It was raining. It was gray. It was dreary. We weren't dressed warm enough. And they told us that we had to wait like 3 hours, 4 hours for the van to get fixed. And it's going on almost dinner time, like 3:30, 4. And we walked into a restaurant, and in Greece, restaurants had the food all on a display, and whoever was the proprietor or the person working the restaurant would dish out your food, the food that you were requesting. And so we walked in, and the food was all set up, and the restaurant was empty, but it was a little bit warmer in there, and all we wanted was some tea to warm up. The owner came out. He said, "I didn't see you here." And we said, "Yeah, but we don't want to eat. We just want some tea." And he said, "Oh, let me take you somewhere where you could get something even better." And he took us to a tavern. He sat down with us, and he bought us ouzo. Does everybody know? Well, it does warm you up. I mean, and we're sitting there, the 3 of us, and he wants to know what brought us to Crete, what brought us to Greece, where we lived in the United States. He wanted to know about our families and, how long we were traveling, and did we like the place we lived, and had we ever been to Chicago, and I've got my little watch on, right? So I'm noticing that it's coming on 5 o'clock, because when we were coming to the tavern, I said, "You can't leave your restaurant." He said, "Yes, I can. Nobody comes till 5 o'clock. And it's getting to be 5 o'clock, 5 minutes after, 10 minutes after. And I'm freaking out. This man's going to lose all this business, or maybe people will come and eat all his food with. And by 5:15, I couldn't handle it anymore. I said, "Don't you need to get back to your restaurant?" And he got so offended. He slammed his drink down on the table. He was quiet, and he looked at me. He goes, "How can you say that? How can you say that? We're here becoming friends, getting to know each other, and you're worried about time and business?" A little bit different take on how to deal with time, right? Not that much further down the way, maybe 8, 9 months later, I was in Germany. I had gotten a job at Heidelberg University, and really great job. And I had been there maybe 2-3 months. Again, another gray, rainy. The rain was coming down hard. It was loud. And I woke up and it was almost 10 o'clock in the morning, and I was supposed to be at work at 8:30. I just didn't hear any alarm clock, with all the rain and everything. Back in those days, in Germany, people wore galoshes, and I put on my galoshes and my raincoat, and I got in my car and got to work, and there was a lobby area where you took off your galoshes, you took off the raincoats, and I'm, I guess, making noise as I'm hurrying to do this, and my boss, my supervisor, came out. She goes, "Oh, you're here." I said, "I am so sorry. I am so, so sorry." And she's looking at me. She goes, "What are you sorry about?" I said, "I'm late, and I'm so sorry." And she goes, "Well, I know you're late, but what are you sorry about?" I said, "I'm sorry because I'm late." And she got the most confused look on her face. She goes, "Does that mean you're not going to stay long enough?" I was in research and I was running trials. She said, "Does that mean you won't stay long enough to complete your trials?" I said, "No, I'll stay till they're done." She goes, "Then I really don't understand. What are you sorry about?" So this way of being with time that I had assumed was absolute truth, that this was the one and only way to be with time, apparently is a cultural phenomenon, and not all cultures embrace our way of being with time. Now with Crete, I could have said, okay, they're not into efficiency, they're not into productivity, they live a different lifestyle, but Germany? Okay, so we have a choice. We have a choice in how we relate to time, and it's important sometimes to be somewhere at a certain time, but our reaction to how well we do that doesn't need to be based on this cultural model. And so there are other things about time too. It's if it's not exactly that linear model, we can recognize that you can shrink time. You can expand time. My granddaughter is 19 and she finished her first year of college, and I swear she was 9 years old 2 years ago, right? Everyone knows that. And there's more. I have another story about expanding time, but come to the workshop because I'll never get to the main point of this. So there's different ways of relating to time in this human experience of ours. If you look closely, time can expand, it can shrink. And then there are the spiritual teachers that tell us that there really isn't time, it's the now moment. You know, just like in the song, it's that now moment where we meet. Oops, did I go backwards? I did. No, that was right, okay. Okay, there are spiritual teachers like Eckhart Tolle who said that realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now moment the primary focus of our lives, of your life. So that moment where I was being frantic and not connecting with my boss and saying, "I'm late, I'm sorry, I'm late, I'm sorry," I was not in the present moment. She was, and she was. And so there's a way of being that I try for, that no matter what's happening with that timeline, I can come back into that present moment and respond with who I truly am. And then Thich Nhat Hanh said at one point, only the present moment is real. And if he's right, then all those times I've gotten frantic or distressed or disturbed about time, I've been getting disturbed about absolutely nothing, right? And so some people might dismiss that because you have to be practical. You have to, deal with the world as it is, and it's only the mystics and those teachers that'll tell us that time isn't real, right? However, Einstein once wrote, people like us who believe in physics know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. That's Einstein, right? And that he was quoted by a man named Ira Flatow, and it was an interview on NPR. So there's this tyranny of time, and there's this deeper truth that time as we know it on the timeline might not even be real. And even if it is real, we have a choice on how to relate to it. We can choose to be fully present even in those moments and show up very differently. And we might be late, but I think part of the teaching is, so what? I mean, bottom line, if a service starts 5 minutes late, that's not best. That's not the greatest. But what's better, a bunch of people angry at each other because we've missed a mark, or people staying joyfully present with each other because they realize that there's a deeper truth, a deeper value. Chardin, in Unity, we know this quote really well. It said at one time, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? And so the human experience is based in time and is often driven by efficiency. Our spiritual nature is based in freedom, love, wisdom, purpose, inspiration, peace, and so on. So if we can bring our spiritual nature, the deepest truth of who we are, into our experience of time, we can create a new and deeply fulfilling relationship with time. And that's quoting me. In an article that's supposed to be being published today in a Solano newspaper. I had fun quoting myself during it. So how do we bring our spiritual nature into our experience of time? And there's many, many ways, but two that I wanted to bring up is first, going into that present moment. And what that means in real life as we move through the day is practicing to pause. No matter what's going on, even if it's for a second, if we can pause, or pause long enough for a breath, and in that pause, open to the present moment. Because all it really takes is to gently brush the edge of that present moment. So often we can't go fully into it, but if we just barely touch it, the present moment is so big and so real and so powerful that if we pause long enough just to touch it, it changes everything. Mahler, who is very well known for his music, would take a 3 or 4 hour walk every day after lunch so that he could be the one creating the music that was inside of him. Or Gertrude Stein, she would every day wander the countryside. Oops. One more? Thank you. She'd wander the countryside for a few hours looking at the cows. Now, for people who are really stuck on that timeline, isn't this a waste of time? Okay. Yeah. It would be labeled that by many people. But that's where our spiritual focus comes in. What is and is not a waste of time shifts. So we redefine wasted time. And we discover that when time begins to take on a new meaning, if we begin to see wasted time as time that disturbs our peace. Okay? Our culture says wasted time is non-productive time. But what if wasted time was the time that disturbs our peace? When I was driving behind that SUV today, I was wasting time when I was allowing it to disturb my peace. Or wasted time is time that takes away from our purpose. Or time that is not anchored in the love and wisdom that is the very truth of who we are. So if we begin checking in with ourselves, are we wasting time? Am I wasting time in this moment? It's very easy to shift. So, in conclusion, and we can talk so much more about this and tell stories and share ideas during the workshop, but time can cease to be a taskmaster and become the gentle and welcome rhythm that moves us through our days. And thank you very much.
God is here, God is now, God is all. God is the life within my heart. So I see and I feel and I know all is perfect and right in my world. God is here, God is now, God is all. God is the light within my heart. So I see and I feel and I know all is perfect and right in my world.
So as we move deeper into our time of meditation, I invite you to set the intention to be fully present with the God of your being, the God in which you live and move and speak and dream, the God in which you breathe each and every breath. And so for a little while, allow your attention to rest gently on the movement of your breath. Notice the movement of your breath in this now moment. Notice how your breath feels when you breathe in And when you breathe out, notice how your breath feels when you allow it to breathe in its own natural and easy rhythm. And you may even notice how each breath takes you deeper within. Deep into the sacred space, that sacred space where you know, where you feel, where you gently touch the presence. The presence that is God. The presence that is the truth of your being. And so for a little while in this silence, rest in the presence. And so gently and easily bring your attention back to this room, this time, this place. Feel the presence of the others who are around you. And know that you are one. That the presence that is God shines through each and every one in this room. And there is only one presence and one light that shines in this moment. And so when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And then I invite you to look around and see that amazing divine light shining on each and every face. And know that that same light is shining as you right now, right here, in this now moment. And so it is. God is here, God is now, God is all. God is the life within my heart. So I see and I feel, all is perfect and right in thy word. God is here, God is now, God is all. God is the light within my heart. So I see and I feel and I know
Thank you. Unity of Monterey Bay is the collective consciousness and commitment of all of us who give of our time, treasure, and talent in order to sustain the spiritual community that is dedicated to transforming lives. We know that prosperity is a state of mind that finds blessings in every situation and abundance in joyous generosity. We transform all appearances of fear or lack into faith-filled peace of mind by shifting our attention to thoughts of gratitude for the abundance of God's good in our lives. As the ushers now come forward, I invite you to think of something specific you're grateful for in this moment. And now, with our hearts and minds overflowing with gratitude, we breathe into the divine flow of God's good, trusting that we are enough and that we have enough, and that there always is enough to both have and share. For those of you who give online through our website, have set up monthly auto payments from your bank, or give by credit card, we are grateful. We ask that you join us in faith and gratitude as we pass the offering baskets this morning by holding and blessing the basket as it passes to you. And now please join me in our offertory blessing. I am an open channel for God's infinite good, divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies everything I give and everything I receive. I am both blessed and a blessing. Thank you, God.
2, 3. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. Any fool can do it. There ain't nothing to it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. But since we're on our way down, might as well enjoy the ride. The secret of love is in opening up your heart. It's okay to feel afraid, but don't let that stand in your way. 'Cause anyone knows that love is the only road. And since we're only here for a while, might as well show some style. Give us a smile, isn't it a lovely ride? Sliding down, gliding down, try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. The thing about time is that time isn't really real. It's just your point of view. How does it feel for you? Einstein said he could never understand it all. Planets spinning through space, the smile upon your face. Welcome to the human race. Isn't it a lovely ride? I'll be sliding down, I'll be gliding down. Try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. Isn't it a lovely ride? See me sliding down, gliding down. Try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. The secret of life is enjoying the passing of time.
Thank you, Devin, and thank you, James Taylor. And never has a song more perfectly fit with a lesson before, right? So it is with great joy that we bless and give thanks for these gifts and offerings that demonstrate our collective commitment to the spiritual work of love and transformation in our lives and in our world. We dedicate this offering, our lives, and this ministry to more fully expressing the Christ light that is the truth of our being and inviting all people to know God's love. Finally, knowing that one with God, all things are possible, we affirm together that the good is now, the rest is blessed, and the best is yet to be in our lifetime, gently. Thank you, God. Thank you, ushers. Well, for our awesome music today, we want to thank the one and only James Taylor. Who loves James Taylor? Right? And Devin did a beautiful job on that song. As well as Richard Burdick, Daniel Namod, and Karen Drucker. And of course, our awesome music team. And we're glad to have Sue back. And Denise and Devin on every instrument that exists. He just pops around from one instrument to the next. He can play them all. We're always glad to have Devin with us. Okay, so today after the service, we are having a potluck lunch and Reverend Dalia's workshop, The Time You Choose. How many people are intrigued by this topic and want to know more? Yeah, I know I do. So join us downstairs. We'll probably give you a little bit of time to have coffee and such, and then we will reconvene. Yeah. Okay. All right. So lunch first, then workshop. All right. Perfect. And it doesn't matter when we do it because time is not real anyway. So, I'm going to try to use that. I'll be like, Reverend Dalia said. This Friday is our concert with Anton Miserak and Laura Berryhill. How many people have heard their concerts before? It's beautiful live music, a really low-key, chill vibe. So you are invited to join us for that. Wait, this Friday? July 25th? Yeah. At 7 o'clock. All right. You can also sign up in Sacred Grounds for our annual banquet, which is coming up quickly on October 3rd. Please make sure that you choose your entree. And we continue collecting auction items. How are those auction items going, Martha? Are they coming in? Not yet. We got time. All right, so consider what you may have to donate or what you may be able to obtain to donate, right? Such as a gift certificate from your favorite restaurant, if you can get them to donate, or it could be a service like massage or facials or, I don't know, lots of things, right? So if you're not sure about whether an item is appropriate or not for the auction, just see Martha and she will let you know. But let's get those auction items coming in. That is our big fundraiser for the year. So we hope to see everyone there. Next Sunday is Church of the Wild. We meet every fourth Sunday at 2 p.m. At Via Paraiso Park in the upper picnic area. Bring a camp chair and a sweatshirt. And we'd love to have any and all of you join us for that. And if you have questions about what Church of the Wild is, please see me. You can sign up already for our 2026 Women's Retreat, which is going to be July 17th through 19th. And we need deposits, right? Because we have to make a fairly large deposit. So if you're able to make any kind of a deposit at this time, that would be really helpful towards us getting together that money to save our space for next year at Via Maria del Mar. Okay. We actually managed to get a weekend. Getting harder and harder to book these places. We have the big ocean view room, so that's awesome as well. So that will be wonderful. And I am not going to miss it next year. All right, as we bring our service to a close, we are just so grateful that you have all joined us here today, whether you're here with us in person or joining us virtually. And we hope we've made you feel at home in our Unity of Monterey Bay community. And most importantly, we want you to know that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Our chaplain available to pray with you today is Ms. Jan Lindenthal Cox, so you can avail yourself of her services to pray with you after the service. And so we thank her for that, as well as all of our chaplains who are always praying on all of the prayer requests that come in through all the various channels and holding the high watch for our community. And I don't want to forget, one more time, let's thank Reverend Dalia for an awesome message today. And we look forward to learning much more in the workshop. You know, the puns are really just, the possibilities are endless. So I'm going to leave you with this prayer this morning. God of life, in which we live and move and have our being, we are grateful for this knowing, especially in difficult times like these. We claim clarity in our minds, strength in our work and discernment, rest as we sleep, and peace in our hearts, so that we may be a presence for those who need our help, ever guided by divine love and wisdom as to what is ours to do. Amen. Let's form our closing circle. So as we form this circle of community and prayerfulness, I invite you to hold in your heart all those that are on your heart this morning in need of prayer in your lives. And if you wish, you can speak their name out loud into the circle.
Dennis. Sue.
And so we hold all of these dear ones in this circle of prayerfulness, of presence, this presence of God, knowing that healing comes through being held in that presence. And so we see each of these dear ones being healed in the right and perfect way for them, and all circumstances and situations unfolding in perfect divine order. So will you please join me now in our prayer for protection? The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God I've been